I can, yeah, we can kind of go back over that if you
I
want.
mean, I wonder if just quickly.
Yeah, I think that would probably be a good idea because this is like the. I do not.
You can put your microphone on. All right, Betty. Betty is our first one jumping on.
Welcome, Betty.
Hello. Yeah, here, Kelly. Kelly and I are going to share a microphone here for a second.
We're fine.
We'll just stay
Fine.
close.
Hello. Check, 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 check.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. It's your friends here at Memory Bound, and Janet is here today. Kelly's in the house, and Dawn's behind the camera.
The bells are ringing for Janet.
The bells are ringing. We have a really cool.
And my cat is in the house.
And your cat is in the house in a sleigh. That's cute, Janet. And Janet is sharing her projects that she made using the MegaPad. She was here a week ago Wednesday, and showed us projects from that day. And she is back today to show us more projects using the MegaPad. So,
actually, not the MegaPad, but the 12 by 12 paper to go with the MegaPad.
Oh, today is all just 12 by 12. Oh, from the Home for Christmas.
Same line, but
Cool.
kind of the grown-up version of that.
Hi, Marianne. Hey, Marianne, I follow the Phoenix weather now because my kids are there. And it's only in the 90s this whole week, so it's cooling off there. It's way cool down there. So glad you're joining us. Hi, Donna, Claudia, Crystal. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on this morning. Southwest Missouri's with us today.
Yay.
It
feels like Friday. I know it's not, but it feels like Friday to me.
While we are waiting for everybody to jump on, we do have a little announcement. And we would like to say, happy birthday, Michelle. We cannot wait for you to come. And, yeah, I printed two because the first one didn't print very dark. Anyway, happy birthday, Michelle. She's coming to crop with us this weekend, and we can't wait to see you. And this is a very special birthday for her.
Does it end in a 0?
It ends in a 0, but we're not going to say what the first number is. But the second number does end in a 0.
Let's just say 20.
Oh, I like it.
20?
I love it. Let's say 30. 30 is a good number because you know a little bit more. 20s, you're still just a little hot shot. And I have one of them at home.
So you know.
Experience.
Yeah, I'm speaking from experience. But no, by 30s, you always, you tend to mature a little bit and know a little more.
Most people do.
I'm still waiting.
Oh, hey, Shelly's on her way to Memory Bound. Woohoo!
Welcome, Shelly.
We
now,
can't
if you're
wait.
cropping tomorrow, Shelly is coming. She's our Sizzix rep, so she's like a movie star.
She is a movie
celebrity.
star.
Ooh.
Yes.
Coming to Memory Bound, and she's going to be doing a make and take for all of you participants at our crop.
Yes.
So,
Oh, Michelle is watching. So, Michelle, happy birthday.
happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michelle.
Happy birthday to you.
We got to sing, absolutely. And I haven't asked Shelly, but I think she'd be willing to sign autographs if you want. She will be at the crop. And, please show your sign. Jane.
Show your sign.
Coach Jane.
What's your sign?
Coach Jane tells us to show our sign.
Here's who we are.
Yes, Marianne, the 90s are cool. You're absolutely right.
It's a dry heat, right?
Yeah, my kids were pretty excited about 90s. Hi, Lori. Yes, we'll see you tomorrow. And
the 40s
Donna,
here.
Donna, no, I wish you were coming too. You'll have to come to the next one. And, okay, we had Brenda bring in yesterday her project that she made using the Enchanted Autumn collection that Memory Bound.
And we have one left, Dawn.
One collection left. So she brought this in, and I asked her if we could show this. But I love how she stamped on the paper. She did. Yeah, look at the charms she has hanging here, the leaf charms, and over here she used the Tim Holtz stitching to stamp. So good job, where she took the paper and then kind of just stamped away and made a whole nother, I guess, looking paper, a whole nother sheet. I love it. I love it. She tore down here, and this is, she put it on a canvas panel. But good job, Brenda,
really,
and
really
thank you
pretty.
so much for bringing that in. And we are thankful, grateful, blessed for all of you, and really appreciate you all joining in with us. And let's see, there was somebody gave us a story. I have a story to tell you.
Ooh.
And oh gosh. Okay. Carolyn says, I have a story to tell you. Shelly, her friends, bought a lot of stencils. She had them all, her husband had them all on a ring. Her husband had a friend who wanted to borrow them, and they were having a garage sale, and they sold all of her stencils. I believe she said for like $5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so she said to please pray for the husband that he gets
Big
out
trouble.
of the doghouse.
That is something. Oh my.
Yes, no sound. We're on. Maybe go out and come back in if you can't. Is there other people that can't hear? Oh my, did he? Yeah, why would he do that? Okay. Okay. All right. Hi, Kim. Yes, I think you were in here yesterday. I know you were, and you got some stuff. Yes, good to see you, and thanks for joining in. Okay, Kelly, anything else before we?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I wanted just to remind everybody about our our card kit here that makes 4 cards. It's $5.99, and all the proceeds go to the local food pantry. So we still have some of these left if you want to make them. We showed it yesterday. It comes with directions, and all your pieces are ready to go.
And we have like 100 plus kits, so we wanted to make sure we gave a really good donation to the food pantry because we know there's a lot of people out there that could use our help. So this is a card kit. It will be available. You can find it online under kits and card kits, or Christmas kits. Christmas kits, yes, I think is where we determined. Hi, Deb. Deb is new. Oh,
welcome.
Hi. Well, thank you for joining us today. We look forward to meeting you when you come.
Okay, and then I lit this up today so people could see it with the lights. And this is Maggie's project, and it is a kit. It's the Halloween mixed media, etc. tag. And these are those etc. tags from Tim Holtz. They're kind of they're kind of wood. I know they're plant-based. If for those of you that
Particle board, I think is what they, which is kind of like wood pieces.
But Maggie designed this, and she has a kit that has everything you see here is in the kit, including the lights. And look at Don. Let me just turn it off and back on a couple times just for the special effects.
Love, love, love.
And the kit is $43.99, and the bonus is that Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday at 5:30 Central Time, Maggie will be here creating it. So you could create along, you could watch the video later, you could make it without the video because she wrote directions. And this is online under kits and under Halloween.
Good job, Maggie.
So,
it is a wowzer.
It's like Maker, one of Tim's Makers projects.
It is. I love it.
So thank you, Maggie, for making us look so good.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Kelly? All right, Janet.
All right.
We're going to turn it over to you.
Great. Shall we do a recap of what we did last week?
Sure.
Dawn, just to start. Like, if you watch, my husband and I were watching Murder, She Wrote the other night, which we used to watch back in the day, and they always do a recap of last week's show. So last week, I did a few projects from the Megapad to show all the different things that you can make with it. And I kind of got carried away, Dawn, what did you say?
I think your projects are amazing, Janet.
Well, thank you. And they're all over on the table there behind you if we want to take a look.
Yes, I would love to.
Actually, first up on the wall here, if you want to turn around, Dawn, is the banner that I made using the paper from the Megapad. So I just used chipboard banner pieces, which we carry, and then just cut out pattern paper for the backgrounds, and then accented each of the banner pieces with cut-aparts and die cuts and such. So that makes a really fun banner.
I love the O. That's really neat how you did that, Janet.
So those big letters and the ornament are from our die cut machine here at the store.
Okay, cool.
So if you're in need of something oversized. And then I took the extra pieces from the package of chipboard banners, Dawn, and I made door hangers. So this is a Frosty the Snowman hat.
Cute.
So thank you. And then this is just another piece made with cut-aparts. Got a ribbon issue, there you go. And some die cuts at the top. So that's just a cut apart from the multi-journaling card cut apart sheet, the 12 by 12 paper.
Love, love, love.
Well, thank you.
What do you know right offhand what die set that is?
This is the Colorized Bloom by Sizzix.
That's so neat.
Well, thank you. So I love those little berries.
And
so,
look at how she cut it out of just a patterned paper.
Yeah, so it's one of those colorized dies that has several layers that you can use. I think there might be 3 or even 4 layers. I only use 2. I use the stem and then just the main berry layer. And I die cut that from cardstock for the main part, and then the berries from some pattern paper. So I just thought this was a fun little project and a great way to use up the extra pieces that are in your
What a
package of
fun way.
banners.
Wouldn't your kids love to have a decorated door hanger? And that's something that they could make to put on their own doors. I love that idea.
Well, thank you. And so then I took other paper from the pad and I made chipboard display pieces. This is a larger one. It's not quite 4 by 6 inches. Just starts out as a plain chipboard piece. Cover it with paper from the pad. And then I kind of did the same sort of a floral spray across the top.
That's a good idea.
Using just a poinsettia die, some greenery, and then this is a punched green, which is called branch, I believe.
Pine, is it just branch or pine branch? Branch?
Might be pine branch. But I think it looks like a pine branch.
It does,
for sure.
absolutely.
And I glittered it with Diane's special glitter mix.
Which is diamond dust and clear rock candy glitter.
Yes, and we'll talk about that. I'll glitter one of these for us later. So
Yay.
Everybody knows you got to have that. And this is a smaller coaster made in the same fashion. This one measures 4 by 4. So again, you just cut paper. I chose a cut apart, put it over to the right-hand side so I would have room for that floral spray. This is the same piece, Dawn, that you pointed out over here.
Yep.
But here, I just used 2 different shades of green. And then I used my Wink of Stella.
I love it.
To
That
add some
really
shine.
adds.
Yeah.
Which poinsettia die? Do you know which one?
This is the one by Tim Holtz. It's called Tattered Poinsettia.
Okay.
And it's got, I think, 3 different sizes. So this is the medium and the small size. And it's one of those thick dies, so you can cut out several at a time. So it's a good one. So,
Okay. And we also, why Janet's, I just happened to look over, and we do have the photo play, Say It With Stamps, poinsettia and holly.
This would be perfect. And what I love about that is look at the little details
I
you
like
get.
that too.
Yeah, I think that would be an excellent one too. So
Turn it back over.
you
and
really,
can you see? You can't see very well. There you can. There you can. How it does
Yeah.
put the little
it's like
scoring,
embossing or scoring
yeah,
lines.
embossing
Yeah.
lines. That's a good.
Yeah,
that's a good
and it's
definition.
great because look at all the extra little doodads you get with this. You get the leaves and this little, I don't know what you call that, and then the little center.
stamens.
Thank you, Dawn.
You're welcome.
So you get this little piece for the center too.
$18.99. Holy cow!
Yeah, that's a lot of dies.
That is a lot of dice.
Yeah, this is a good one. I have a few different sets of poinsettia dies at home, but this one is also an excellent one.
Okay.
So great. So Dawn, then I just kept going.
Okay.
I made this mini album, which was made with the 6 by 8 Waterfall enclosure. I think I've got that right, by 49 and Market. And so this one was a great use of the pad paper because all of these pages measure 4 by 6. So I just cut the pad paper to 4 by 6, covered each page front and back, and then of course can't stop there. You have to add a little doodads and fold outs and whatnot. So there is a blog post if you want to see details of page by page of how I put this together. It's got quite a lot of information for you. And we don't have instructions for this one, but I think once you get started, kind of see the idea, you can go with it. So lots of little
Gosh,
fold
Janet,
outs.
so cute.
Well, thank you. It was so much fun.
So you took just a generic 4 by 6 waterfall album and turned it into a wowzer.
Well, it was sure fun to do, and I think this would be a nice little gift album or
Oh, yes.
just something to put out on your coffee table because it's kind of decorative too, in addition to having lots of space for photos. So, and then of course I had to make some cards because once I come to the end of my paper supply, then I just use my little leftovers for cards. So this is a slimline card. It's a larger card. It's one of the A7 size. So it measures 5 by 7, and I just cut it down to 3.5 inches wide, left the 7-inch length. What's great about doing this and using this size of a card is it accommodates the 3x4 cut apart at the bottom, which is a
great idea.
Perfect use for that. And then we've got these great craft envelopes that they fit right in.
And Janet, that's such a good tip because we have the super value 5x7 card and envelope packs. And I don't know what it amounts to, but it's pretty inexpensive. It's like pennies, maybe.
I want to say 5 cents.
I was going to say maybe 5 cents for the card and the envelope.
Right. It's very, very
5
affordable.
cents.
Yeah.
And so just cut it down, as Janet mentioned, and then you create a slimline card. So that's a great tip, Janet.
Yeah, super easy. You would just need to pick up these envelopes, which are separate, but how perfect that is. So I love that. And then, of course, I made some other cards with the leftover strips. Because I had cut so many pieces of 4x6 paper from the pad for the mini album, I had a lot of strips left. So I just used those to make a whole bunch of cards. So,
and tags, it looks like.
Yeah.
Very fun.
So,
Janet, Kathy wants to know what adhesive you use on your coasters.
You know what? I would say we would probably recommend medium matte for the background.
That's what I use.
Don't believe I did use those. I think I used probably just a tape adhesive, and it was fine. But I think if you're going to do it properly, that's probably what you should use. For sure.
I think if they're not going to get much movement and they're just going to stay there, your score tape or your, as you mentioned, your tape runner. But if you are going to be moving them around and using them quite a bit, then you can always use the multimedia matte or the collage medium, and that just makes your paper stick to any surface really, really well.
Right. Especially like if you're sending it through the mail or to someone else, and you're not going to be able to keep a watchful eye on it and fix it if it gets loose, definitely use that. So those are some examples of the projects that I made with the paper pad, and I would just encourage everybody to pick one of these up. The mega pads have a ton.
They're right here.
A ton of paper, 48 sheets, and what's great is they also include solids. So you don't have to worry about matching cardstock if you don't want to bother with that. So there's a lot of paper in there, and you can obviously make a lot of projects.
And isn't it $11.99?
Yeah.
$11.99.
Yeah, and we have mega pads in other themes as well. So if you're not looking to make Christmas card or Christmas projects right now, you could make similar projects for any other occasion. So, and I want to point out, because I forgot last week, that we do have instructions, Dawn, for a couple of the projects from last week and a couple of the projects from today.
Okay, and I'm going to do a squirrel.
Yes.
Sorry. The kits for the Halloween should be under our kits. So if you go to online shopping and you go to the tab kits, you should be able to find Maggie's Halloween mixed media tag kit, and her first class or her class is Tuesday night. So if you want your kit, you can get it. You can watch the video anytime. Okay, sorry.
And it's absolutely adorable.
It is. In real life, it's amazing.
It's just so cute. So we have we have instructions for two of the projects that I just shared with you, the coaster display and also the envelope gift card holder that we did last week. So the envelope gift card holder and the coaster, both of those we have instructions for, and you will find those online.
And how much are those?
Those are just $1, Dawn.
$1.
So you can't beat that, right? And then today I'm going to be sharing a bunch of other projects, and we do have instructions for two of them. One is for the layout, the 2-page layout, which I will show you in just a bit.
And as you can see, Janet's instructions are very detailed.
They are. I'm one of those weird people that enjoys writing instructions. And then coaster ornaments that I'm going to show you how to make in just a little bit. We also have instructions for those.
Awesome.
So just so I don't forget to tell everybody
Thanks for
later.
writing those up, Janet.
Sure.
I know our customers appreciate that.
Absolutely. So let me tell you what I did today. So last week I used the 6x6 pad in that same collection of paper, you can purchase 12 by 12 versions of that paper. So this is just the full-size version of the same paper that you'll find in the pad. So there's the cut apart, there's this beautiful floral, plaid, red, green, everything that you would possibly need to make some wonderful projects. And what's great about these is they're all beautifully double-sided, and they have a really nice texture to them as well.
Yeah, they are. They're nice thick.
This is that Cartabella. The line is called Home for Christmas, and it's got almost, wouldn't you say, a little bit of a texture to it, Donna?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
It's a little heavier. I just absolutely love the paper. And so I also use some cardstock. I've got the greens pulled for everybody if you're looking for some matching greens. The lighter green is called Pear, and the other one is called Desert Cactus. And let's see what else. Some lined paper if you need it, and I will show you how we're going to incorporate that in just a bit. And then for the coasters, I used a metallic silver, which we'll talk about in just a bit. So all of these things work together.
The instructions are online. They're under a tab called Instructions. We do have, now we've been, Katie's been doing all her instructions, so you will find a tab specifically for instructions. And that Janet's instructions will be there.
Yeah. And this collection also has ephemera, which I used for the projects you will see today, and then also the projects from last week. And the ephemera is great. It has a lot of wonderful shapes for just $4.99. I want to say, yeah, 33 pieces. And then I would also recommend getting the enamel dots if you're going to be making some projects like this, because they're super handy, especially if you make the mini album. You don't want to have to wait for Nuvo drops to dry. So this is a really great collection of colors, and it matches perfectly.
And can you tell us the colors of cardstock again?
Yeah. So I always like to use 2 different shades of green, Dawn. Like if you were, thank you, if you were making a floral arrangement, you know that all greens are not the same. And I know you're a florist.
Yes, absolutely.
So you understand that, but I think greens look better if you kind of mix the greens. So this one is called Pear.
Okay.
And this one is called Desert Cactus.
Okay, the Desert Cactus is a My Colors brand, and Pear is a Basil brand.
Yes. And my instructions might actually even reference Guacamole, which is a Basil brand as well. And I think it's virtually the same color as this one. So either one will work.
They get them all at the same factory or mills.
Yeah.
So they just change the colors.
Yeah.
Change color names, I mean.
Yeah. Well, so let's look at some of the projects, and then we'll come back to this, and if anybody has any questions.
All right. The size of the coaster that you made your ornaments out of.
That's a great question. We will talk about that. It is 3 inches, and I just discovered this morning that we actually have 2 sizes. Oh, excuse me, it's 3.5. Isn't it?
3.5.
Is that 3.5?
We have 2 sizes of
We have
coasters?
2 sizes.
We just got
Yes.
some in yesterday, and
It's
that's
3.5.
good to know. Okay.
Yeah, it's 3.5.
All right.
And the bigger size, excuse me, is 4 inches. So
Woohoo!
this morning I discovered these. So if you want to
Yay.
make these ornaments as is, you want to get the smaller of the 2. So you want to get the 3.5 inch ones. But you could do the same thing. You could just make a bigger ornament.
Yeah,
if you
cool.
wanted
The
to. You
bigger
would
is
just
fun. You could have a variety.
Yeah, you would just have to adjust your sizes, and you'll see how easy that is in just a second. So yeah, we'll get to that, but that's a great question. Okay. Well, let me show everybody the layout first. So this was so much fun.
Okay, while Janet's getting her stuff, Pear is a Basil cardstock. And so when you go to cardstock on our website, if you go to Basil, you can look for Pear, P-E-A-R, or just type in Pear in the search bar. And then the other one is the brand called My Colors, and she said that was Desert Cactus. And Michelle, yes, I'm sure we can send you digital instructions. I'm not sure if they're online as digital, but we can send a copy to you digitally.
So for this layout, I like to use sometimes a neutral color in the background. So this one has a craft cardstock background. And I just like the way the craft works with the collection, the colors in the collection, to kind of give it something to contrast to. I especially like the white versus the craft here. So for this layout, again, you've got instructions that you can get for that. This basically uses panels of paper across the left and then repeats them going the other direction across the right. So repeats from side to side. So for instance, if I use a floral paper over here, I made sure to use a floral paper over here just to kind of give it that balance. The plaid paper here, the plaid paper here, the green paper here, the green paper here, so as to get balance. So then you can see also I use the cut aparts on both pages. So I love this particular sheet, Dawn, because it has all these different sizes. So I've used these for cards. I've used these for this one I used on the door hanger. And then this one is from here, and this one is from here. So awesome. This sheet will give you a lot of options. So pick up a couple, I would probably. So then I also
not
used,
to mention the little ones over here to add to your cards.
For sure.
So that you would want to cut apart. Fun.
And I even used one of those on here. Excuse me, my voice. I also used the ephemera on this layout as well. So, and then I used some of those same poinsettia dies that we talked about earlier. And you could use any that you have, just a couple of different layers. Backed it with a circle, and then I used a couple of different greeneries, so 2 different shades. So, and over here, I always like to put some interactive element on my layouts, and I like to put things like this at the top so that you can pull out the pieces without having to remove it from your sheet protector. So what this is just simply an envelope that I made into a pocket.
Cute.
And I'll just show you how easy that is to do. So it's just a regular A2 size envelope, and you want to just tape it shut, like so. And I wanted to make it a little bit shorter, so this measures, I want to say 3.5 inches. So basically what you're going to do is cut off the top part of the envelope so that the envelope measures 3.5 inches deep, like so. So now you should have an opening at the top. Hopefully I do. Oh, I taped my envelope shut. Excuse me.
Don't do what Janet just did.
No need to do that. You don't even need to tape your envelope shut. Excuse me.
Okay.
I knew I hadn't had enough coffee this morning. So don't tape your envelope, excuse me. Just cut off the top. And then we're just going to then take a circle punch and cut a 1/2 inch or a half circle in the top edge, like so. And that just makes a pocket. Again, let's remind everyone, do not glue your envelope
Very
shut.
cute idea.
But just
Very
cut off
cute
the
idea.
top. Just fold it shut, cut off the top so that you then have access to it as a pocket. So then that can just go on the top of your page. And then from there, you have room to put photos. And you can even put some lined paper. Like here, you could cut this from lined paper. And there's also lined paper in the pad as well. So that's actually where this came from. But if you didn't have that, you could use this lined paper. Just cut out a little journaling card.
So the back of the green cardstock is, or the green?
There is one of them that has lines
cool.
on it, but this came from the pad, and the reason I use this is because the lines are a little bit closer together.
Okay.
But if you didn't have that, I would just go ahead and use this. Just cut it to 3 by 4, and then I just added a little tab to the top.
Cute. Or you could use Katie's Project Life journal
Oh,
cards.
absolutely. Oh, those would be even easier.
And we do have those.
Sure. And then I've just come to love these tags, Dawn, which are the little craft tags, which I think I have out over
Right
there.
here. And we have those. You get 25 for $5.99.
Yeah, and they're just nice and sturdy, and I've used them throughout all of these projects.
And let's see, Carolyn. The dots on the flowers is actually the paper. So she just die cut the paper with the poinsettia die, and it made the dots.
Yeah.
And this paper is called Christmas Farm Floral, and this is the other side of it, and it's part of that Home for Christmas line.
So again, this is a really fun layout, and it will accommodate a lot of pictures, as you can see, and then with extra
Absolutely.
pictures in there. So when I'm making a layout, I want to go big or go home, as they say. So
Love it.
that's
Good job. Everybody liked your layout,
Great,
Janet.
thank you. That's the first project. Then after that, I made some wiper cards, which this was my first experience making a wiper card, and they were super easy and fun. And we have the pre-made, basically, kit for making the base of the card. It comes with the instructions, and it comes with 2 bases, or 3, excuse me, 3. 3
Nice.
bases. So yeah, you could make a lot of cards using this, and it's only $4.99. You don't have to figure out the measurements or anything. All of that is included. And so the way a wiper card works is it folds flat to A2 size, so it would fit in a regular size envelope. And then when the recipient gets it, they pull it apart, and then something pops out.
That's adorable.
Which is super fun. So when you are getting ready to make this, you want to make sure that you save or reserve a piece that you think would make a nice little
Message,
pop-up.
yeah.
So, and it has to be kind of the right size to fit in there and pop out. But isn't that fun?
Yeah. So you gnome lovers, I think we've made a card where the little gnome jumps out.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute.
Super cute. So I made a similar one, and this time has a snowflake that pops out. So
cute.
here I use the tree punch, the Christmas tree punch, and then I embossed a couple of them and cut one out of the pattern paper and one out of cardstock, and then I used a snowflake.
Janet,
to pop
I
out.
would have never thought of that. That's
Well, thank
really
you.
cute.
Thank you. Those were really, really fun to do, and that was my first experience using them.
Oh my gosh.
So then after that, I'm still going. I decided to make a gift card holder. I found these cute little envelopes that we have that I hadn't seen before, Dawn, and aren't they just adorable?
Yes, and we do sell those individually.
And they're
20 cents.
And they fit a gift card perfectly, which is wonderful. So what I did here is I used a stitched rectangle background, which I just cut from cardstock, and that is over here somewhere, I think. Yeah, this is one of my favorite dies. So it cuts a ton of different sizes.
This is a My Favorite Things, and it's $36.99. It's stitched rectangle stacks, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like 9 sizes.
Yeah, so this one doesn't open or anything like that, but you could stamp your greeting or write your greeting on the back side. I made it kind of postcard style, so it's got this background that was die cut, and then this one too. Use those same tree dies.
Oh, neat.
And just covered the flap and glued it to the front, so you could put your little gift card in there. So super easy. And
Oshra, we can't wait to see you this weekend. Drive safely. She's so cute.
alrighty, and then I made a lot of cards as well, and I made 3 of the larger size cards, and this is one of my favorites that you can always make if you've got a 2x2 cut apart, which is perfect use for this paper, Dawn, which happens to have a lot of 2x2s. So I used 3 of them here.
Fun.
And then I just had to add another one here, and then this is a 2x4 piece, and then one of those cut apart greetings.
And that's a 5x7
Yep,
card base.
it is. It is. And then this one, you can see, came directly from here. And this is also a 5x7 card base, but I just cut off the edge so that I could add this strip. This is
Nice.
something I do a lot because I just think it's just a nice way to get color on the inside of your card when you open it up. And then this piece just kind of hangs off the edge. So super easy.
Laura, sorry, she says her internet isn't working, so she has to go to the
no.
office. Okay, Angie would like you to show the gift card one again.
This one?
Yes.
Sure. Well, this starts out with a die cut rectangle at the base. So it's just a single piece, it doesn't open. So I just die cut that from craft cardstock. And then this is just a strip of pattern paper, and then here is a smaller one from that same set that I just cut from green paper. And this piece here is just a little envelope, these little tiny envelopes. they hold a gift card perfectly. Maybe that's
Adorable.
why we carry them.
Yeah, I think we did for gift cards.
Well, I discovered them here in the store, and I thought, oh, how perfect.
But Janet had other ideas.
Yeah, so I just traced and cut the flap out of the red dot paper just to add a little bit of color to it. And then this piece here is just a piece of ephemera. So once I had the background done, I just literally stuck the envelope to it, and then you would slip your gift card in and then just close it like that. So it's super easy. So hopefully that answers your questions. Let us know if you have other questions.
And there are other questions. The
Yeah.
Christmas tree that Janet used on her stuff is actually a punch. And Kelly just went to get one. Do you think we have any back there?
I thought they were out of stock.
Okay,
last I
well, they are
looked.
coming. I do know there's been some on order. When I got back into the store, I saw that some had been ordered. And this is the pine branch that Janet uses. It's actually just called Branch.
And it's a good one.
And it is $19.99, and it's kind of big.
It
Let's see.
is.
Let's use your.
Yeah.
It measures 2 inches.
And here you can see it. Yeah, it's a nice size.
Very
And I
good.
have used it all season long. Well, I feel like I'm deep into Christmas now. I've been making so many Christmas projects, but I've used it. And you could even use this for Halloween. Or
Oh,
even
yeah,
for fall,
absolutely.
depending on what color you punch it from.
Yeah.
It could
Punch it
lend
from
us-
black and it looks scary
yeah,
right
or
away.
brown, and it's going to look like a stick.
Oh,
so,
yes.
So I think you could get a lot of mileage from that particular punch. So continuing on,
Could it be snowman arms?
you know,
Maybe you'd have to cut off a few of the branches.
you could cut some of the branches off, but yeah, I think it would work.
Okay, they're coming.
Yeah,
All right. So the Christmas tree punch is on order, and let's see, it's these right here. I would say that they also measure about 2 inches. But there's lots of Christmas tree dies we have too.
Oh, for
if
sure.
If you're
For
looking
sure.
for them.
Yeah, and so then as I continued on, I made additional cards with like the smaller pieces I had left. This is one of my favorite kind of grid designs, and it starts out with a background die cut from that same stitch rectangle. And then I had a couple small pieces of ephemera like this one and this one that I needed to use up. So I just arranged these things kind of as a grid, and then added a little snowflake coming out from behind. And then these little things are black Nuvo drops, but you could also use the enamel dots
Very good.
if you
Ruth,
had those.
I love that idea. She said to use that for reindeer antlers.
Oh, it'd be perfect.
I love that
yes,
idea.
Yes, yes.
Very
oh,
fun.
I have a project that we could do with that. It'd be very, very fun. It's an oldie but goodie.
Okay.
So here's that same particular punch when it's all glittered up with Diane's special glitter mix. Now this card, Dawn, is a note card size, so this would fit in an A1 envelope. So smaller than an A2 size. I'll show you the size difference. But I love to make the small cards, and this one just literally uses scraps of paper from leftover from the layout, a piece of ephemera. This is one of the cut aparts from that cut apart paper, and then one of the glittered up punches. And this one, I'll show you this one. I wanted to make a note card, and I had this piece left. So what I did is I just fussy cut around that and just used the corner. So you can see here, Dawn.
Oh, wow,
I just
Janet.
cut out this piece, and then these two pieces I just lopped off and cut a little
Oh my
V.
gosh, very creative.
Well, thank you. I didn't use the rest of it, but you could certainly make
You
another
could do
card.
another one,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Cute idea.
Well, thank you. That was just a little thing that came to me.
Gosh, love.
And then I finished up with a tag, and this is again using just those same really deluxe craft tags, which I love, and then some leftover strips and some smaller flower dies, and that same punch.
Cute.
And then to the top, I just added some ribbon and then a little baker's twine bow, and on the ends I just tied some bells, because I just love those bells, and we do have them. We have bells in various
We have
sizes.
bells, yes.
Yeah, this is a little bigger than the ones that I used, but we have various sizes, don't we, Dawn?
All sizes. All
yes,
sizes.
we
of
do.
bells. Let's see.
Let me see if I can find the ones.
What did you use for the tree on those cards? She used a punch. And it is out of stock right now, but it is on order, and I would guess it might even be here tomorrow, and at the latest earlier next week. And the punch, the pine branch is, well, it looks like maybe about 2¼ inches is the pine branch. Oh, look at Janet. Okay.
Yes.
Did you use the 1/2 inch?
They are the 1/2 inch. And so
Okay.
we've got them in various sizes depending on how big your project was. But for these projects today, I would probably use the smaller size. And we have them even smaller than that.
Wonderful.
Now,
Wonderful.
you know,
Oh.
my cat rings bells for treats, Dawn. So I have
love
to make
it.
sure she would have a field day with these.
Thanks, TJ. TJ's helping us out. She's posting dimensions.
Great, great, perfect.
I love it.
Well, let's talk about kind of the reason that I'm here today, which is to show you how to make these ornaments. Some of our viewers might remember last Christmas, it's been a year now, Dawn, I made a set of photo ornaments.
They were
And
awesome.
thank you. I wanted to make another spin on photo ornaments for this year, and I thought, well, what could I do that would be completely different, that would be affordable for people, and that you wouldn't need a lot of equipment to make. And so I came across the coasters that we sell here in the store, and I thought, well, I wonder if I could turn them into an ornament. So I just started playing around, and this is what I came up with. And I ended up thinking they were really fun to make. So as I looked kind of online at the different ways that people made photo ornaments using, you know, round cardstock, one thing that I felt was missing from all the samples that I saw was the ornament topper.
The hanger part.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I felt like without the topper, they just kind of looked like circles.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, I've got to figure out a way to make a topper and something that anybody could do without any special equipment. And so I came up with the idea of crimping a piece of silver paper to make that topper, and it ended up working great. So I'll show you how to do it.
Beautiful, Janet.
Thank you. So you may have one of these tools in your dusty in your closet. This is a crimper.
And if you put yours in the garage sale the last few years, you can kick yourself now for
Yes.
doing that, because now you have, and they make great French fries too.
Oh, true.
If you
True.
use your cream colored paper and crimp it, it's a French fry.
So I ended up using the crimper to make the topper, which was super fun. Super, super fun. So let me show you quickly how to do this. I'm going to have to do some setup, Dawn, so if you could maybe pan elsewhere.
Do we have to have a commercial break?
Commercial break
All right,
while I get
commercial
the
break.
die
We'll
cut.
go over here and I'll show you some of the products Janet has pulled. She looks like she's using the red and the green twine, and we do sell that by the yard, and you can find that online. I think if you just type in twine. And let's see, here's the coasters. I think the round coasters, Chris, are they 35 cents? The round coasters?
35, yes.
35 cents for the round coaster. So that is a pretty cheap ornament. And
Oh,
really,
definitely.
I bet you could have just scraps of paper to decorate them with. So
Oh,
it wouldn't take
absolutely.
much. And here's the diamond dust that she used on her greenery. And oh gosh, Janet, you also pulled mica flakes.
Oh, gosh, that was a mistake.
That's fun.
But that would be
well,
fun.
mica flakes are really fun.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
But we do also have, I'll go pull the, while we're still doing a commercial break, and I'll go pull some of the glitter. Let's see, that is right here. The Distress. Oh, nope, that's Frosted Crystal. Let me get, here we go. Here's the Distress glitter all down here. It's $6.99 for the Clear Rock Candy glitter. Okay.
Okay.
Have I wasted enough
You
time?
have. Now we're back.
We're back.
So a couple things that we're going to start with. To do these ornaments, you are going to need a set of circle dies. And I would say any circle dies will work for this, as long as they have lots of different sizes. Gosh, this one is deluxe. I don't have this one, but I have something similar to this. You need to be able to cut many different sizes of circles. So for this particular project, I wrote it down. The coaster die measures 3.5 inches, so you'll need a 3.5 inch circle. If you didn't have one, you could trace and cut.
Sure.
You could use a bowl or a glass or something easily, or a compass if you have a compass.
Sure.
The picture is going to measure 3 inches, so you would need a 3-inch die for that. And then the frame uses 2 that are a 1/4 inch apart in size. So I'll show you how to do that. So first though, what I want to do, since it needs some drying time, I'm going to start out by glittering this greenery. This is that same greenery we were talking about earlier, Dawn, and it uses 2 different kinds of glitter. This is proper. Thanks for going to get that. It uses a fine glitter, which is Distress Glitter Clear Rock Candy, which is super, super fine. And then the chunky glitter is Diamond Dust. And Diane, Dawn's sister, our store manager, got the great idea to mix those 2 glitters together. So basically all you do is you just dump some of each in a container, shake it up, and then you are good to go. And just keep it out because you're going to want to use this all the time. So to glitter your greenery and make it really pretty, all you have to do is take your fine tip glue applicator and some clear or white glue. Just apply it to the branches. And just use your finger because it's like the easiest.
And there is, Sizzix does also create or have a clear rock candy glitter, for lack of a better word. I'm not sure what it's called, but a really fine, pretty glitter also. That's, I think it's almost exactly like the clear rock candy.
So I'm just shaking that, and I'm just going to put that aside to dry while we're talking about other stuff. And then you're just going to dump the rest of it back into your container because you don't want to lose any of it.
No.
Now, I asked Katie where to wipe my finger.
And not under the table.
I did bring a wipe.
If you're Katie, you wipe it under the table.
Yeah.
If you're the rest of us, you get a paper towel.
Yeah, so I did bring some wipes. So that's the first step. So we're just going to let that set aside to dry. I've done some pre-work on. The first thing that I did was I took my coaster, and just to remind everybody, this is the 3.5-inch coaster. We do have a bigger size, but if you're purchasing these and want to make exactly what I did, you're going to start with a 3.5-inch size. So the first thing that you want to do is cover the back of the coaster with some paper, and I just die cut this out of the 3.5-inch circle die. Just did that off camera, and I'm just going to use just regular tape adhesive.
Thank you so much, Kim. Kim's posting the craft cardstock. That was so sweet of you. Thank you. And the 2 items that Janet used to mix up her glitter mixture is Diamond Dust and the Distress Clear Rock Candy Glitter. And there is also a Sizzix glitter, white clear glitter that, well, I could say white, but clear glitter that will work too.
Yeah, so once you've covered your background, then that's all there is to that. If you wanted to, you could take ink and ink the edges to cover that up. I'm not going to do that just for purposes of time. The next thing that you want to do is find 2 of your dies that measure 1/4 inch apart, and these are the 2 sizes that I used, 3 inches and 2 3/4 inches. And you're going to cut your picture from the 3-inch size. So you want your picture to be the bigger of the 2. And so I may have to point out, this is my sweet girl. If you know me, you know my cat, Lily, love of my life. She's a senior kitty. And I took this last year, I think, of her at Christmas time.
She's very photogenic, Janet.
She is photogenic, thank you. And her silver kind of matches the paper.
Well, yes, it does. It does.
So the next thing that I'll show you how to do is this frame. I thought just to finish that off, it just needed a little something like this over the top of it. And I've already done this one, but I'll show you how to do it. I used a really thin chipboard to die cut a frame to give it a little extra height. And when you're picking out chipboard for this, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but it does need to be very thin so that your dies will easily go through it. So what you'll do is you'll take your 2 dies and take a little bit of washi tape or something similar, and you're going to tape them together to your chipboard. The idea is that so they don't move as they go through the die cutting machine. So you want to just make sure that they're equally spaced apart, like that. So I don't know if you can see, Dawn, but there's kind of like equal distance between the two dies. And so then you're going to get out your Big Shot, and you're just going to run this operation through your Big Shot. And since they're the thin dies, we're using the top of the platform. And I'm just going to roll it through a couple times, maybe a couple, 3 times. This is not my machine, so I don't know how many times I'll need to run it through.
It is a well-loved machine.
Yeah.
This is what we use to die cut all of our class projects and class for the kits, for all of our kits that we do.
It has definitely seen a lot of use.
Yes,
yeah,
it has.
I think we're good. So now I'm going to pull this off. I just wanted to make sure that it cut cleanly. And just remove this. All that we need is the frame.
The ring.
Yeah. So, and the idea of making a frame with your dies is really a good one, because you could use this idea with any sets of dies, for instance, even Dawn.
Right, you're stitched.
Yeah. You could make a frame using 2 of these as well for a layout or for the front of a card as well. So this is an idea that's pretty handy to have. So this is your chipboard layer. If you wanted to get a little more height, you could cut this a second time. And then what I did is I just cut a same size ring from a piece of pattern paper just to finish that off, because you don't want the chipboard to show. So once you have those 2 on, then that's ready to get glued to the front of your ornament. And again, I'm just going to use tape adhesive today, but you might want to use liquid adhesive in real life. So I'm just going to put this around Lily. And I have to say, is she not the cutest cat?
She's adorable, Janet. She really is. Very cute.
She's my sweet girl. Okay, so that's that. And now let's talk about the topper. So I decided that I wanted to use a silver metallic paper, and Dawn shared with me that we just got in some wonderful silver metallic paper.
And where did
Which
we
I-
put it?
It's
in
under
our pile.
Which is fantastic for this.
And this is called, if you type in texture paper online, it's $2.49. So go out for texture paper, and I think you'll be able to find that. And it does come in several other colors too.
Yeah, any silver metallic would be fine, but I especially like this one because it does have a little bit of texture. So what I did is I just cut a 1-inch strip off the side of it, and then to use your crimper, most crimpers operate similar to this. There's a little set of arrows here that you just tuck your paper in between, and then you squeeze the handle, and then you just roll. It's like super fun. Isn't that fun?
Yes.
So I just think that makes just a great look for the top of an ornament. It just gives it that more of a metal look. So then, and this is not very scientific, Dawn, I literally just figured this out as I went. I just cut off about 1 inch. And then to make it look a little bit more like a topper, I just tapered the sides. So I've just cut off a little bit off either side just to make the sides go in a little bit so they're not straight up and down, like so. And then that will fit behind there.
Cute.
Like that.
So cute, Janet.
Thank you. I learned that you don't want to make it stick out like that because that's too long. So you don't really need a whole lot sticking out. So basically then what I did is I used a little bit of liquid glue on the back and then just stuck the topper to it. It was as simple as that. And I like the liquid glue because then you can kind of move it around.
I just want to make these ornaments because I think they're so cute.
Well, they're super easy. I gotta make sure that it's straight. And I think it would be fun if you're looking for like a project to do on Thanksgiving with kids. I think it would be something you could have all the pieces set up or pre-cut, and then the kids could
pick and choose
could-
what
yeah.
colors go with their picture.
could go to town.
Yes.
So then let's talk about the string. So for the string, the way I did the string on the back side, Dawn, basically I just took about 12 inches of string, and I'm just eyeballing it here. It just depends on how long you want your hanger to be, and just fold it in half like so. And then to give me something to basically glue to, and then to keep the string from splaying out, I decided I'd best tie a knot in the bottom of it. And that makes the string kind of go together at the base of it, so it doesn't splay out into two different strings. So we're just going to tie a knot, if I can, on live TV.
Michelle, you're right. She says beautiful, unbreakable ornaments if your cat plays with your Christmas tree.
Well, this is true. This is true. Now, pan away, Dawn, while I tie this knot.
Oh, Janet has to tie her knot. Oh, you could make them into shaker. Your bet.
With the shaker globe thing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. That would be next level.
Yeah.
So now I have a knot at the bottom, and I think that just makes the whole string operation lay better. So then we're just going to take this and we're going to glue it to the back, and we'll let it dry while we go on and do a couple of other things. So
Cute.
like that. So just set that aside. You could even press something on it. And then I wanted to just talk about the bells real quick too, Dawn. You can also glitter the bells, and I did some of this before we went live this morning. So basically I just took those bells, smeared a little glitter or glue on the top, and then I rolled them around in my plastic tub just to get that glitter on there, which is super, super fun.
And here's some that she's already gotten done.
Yeah.
And it just makes them sparkle a little more.
It does. Now,
I
I
like
thought I
it.
would show everybody how I made these bells dangle, because this I thought was a fun look too.
It is a fun look.
So I just took another piece of twine, and again, this is not scientific, this is just me messing around with it, and I threaded the bells onto the twine, 2 of them, unless of course you have clogged your hole with glitter. This twine does not taste good if you put it in your mouth. I'm going to have to use a naked bell,
One that hasn't been glittered.
because I think I clogged my hole. So there, a word to the wise.
Yeah,
I perhaps did. So we'll just, for purposes of example, use a bell that has not been glittered. And you're just going to thread 2 of them on, like so. And that enables you to then tie them together, just like this. So I tied them together a couple of times, and then I just cut off one of those strings, and now you've got this long piece that you can use to hang them onto your ornaments. So that's
Cute.
basically how I did that.
Cute.
And I'm not going to bother to do that today because that takes a little bit of time for it to dry, but that's the idea. And I did that a few times. You can also just thread the bell onto the top of your ornament,
Yeah,
which
that's
is even
cute.
easier. So now we have this not quite dry, and then we're just ready to add our flower and our greenery. So I just brought over a die cut poinsettia. We'll put that here.
Oh, Jan, that's a cute idea. She said the crimper can also be used for the tiny houses to bake log cabin ornaments.
Oh, how cute would that be?
I love that idea. That would be, if you got more of a rustic motif and wanted the log cabin, that would be really fun.
What's great about this greenery is that it has a slight curve, which kind of follows the curve of the ornament. So we're just going to lay this on here along the curve, like so. And again, in real life, you would probably put something heavy on that just to kind of weight that down and let it dry. And then for our poinsettia, we'll just add that down here. Of course, we want to make sure that Lily is completely
I was gonna
visible.
say, you don't want to cover up Lily.
No. Isn't that cute?
Yes, it's adorable, Janet.
Yeah.
And here's a look at all of her other ornaments that she made. Wonderful, wonderful job, Janet. They're so cute.
Well, thank you. I think this is something that anybody could do. Easy, affordable. Don't you think we should add some red, Dawn, for the...
I think you should.
Yeah, let's add some red. Make sure that I test my Nouveau drops. And we're just going to add some in the center of this flower, just to give it a little accent, a little color. There you go. Isn't that fun?
Adorable.
Thank you.
Adorable. And what was the color you used?
That happens to be autumn red, believe it or not.
Autumn Red Nouveau.
It's got a little bit of a pink cast in the bottle, but it doesn't dry that way. So
It dries red.
Yeah, it dries red. So other colors that I have used or would think that would look great, I used also the ebony black, which is great. And then this is really pretty too. This is liquid mercury, and I really like the way the silver looks with it. And again, this is the autumn red. So those are some easy ideas that you can use for your ornaments. And really, you could just make these with any die cuts that you have. I used a variety of dies and punches just to dress up the edges, a little black checkered.
And the 3-inch round photo, that would be Janet just printed that out on her computer and then die cut it out.
Yeah, just to show you what size of photo that you would need. So I printed my photos regular 4x6 size or 4x5.5, whatever this is, and then I just put my die over the top of it and cut it out that way. So here I printed this one out in black and white, so you can see I think black and white ornaments would be really pretty. Black and white photos would be really pretty in these.
Oh, and you could use the ornaments in a scrapbook layout. You're absolutely right, Corrine. I love that idea. And Cindy says, this will be perfect. Baby's first Christmas for my first grandchild being born this week. Cindy, congratulations. You are going to be so excited. It's the best thing ever. Everybody told me that it is, and I agree with them. It's amazing. Well, Janet, anything else you want to share with us? Because you have shared so much wonderful tips and tricks.
Well, no, I think that's it for today.
Wow.
But
well,
there'll be more to come from me, Dawn.
More to come. And Janet is working on a card kit using Happy Christmas. And that should be available next week.
It should.
It should. So watch for that, and maybe Janet will be here to show it, and if not, we'll be launching it next week. So be on the lookout for that. Her card kits are always amazing.
And this one will make 24 cards.
That's huge.
It's big.
It's a Christmas extravaganza card kit. All right. Thanks, everybody. It's Thursday. We are open tonight until 7. We'd love to see you. And we do have extended store hours this weekend. If you are out of town and want to drive in, we have extended store hours. And I think Friday night we're open until 9, Saturday night we're open until 8, and Sunday 9 to 5. So we hope to see you all. Thank you. Thanks, Janet.
You bet.
Amazing.
You bet. Thank you.